Well,
Um,
I have some good news. I can't let you see me this morning yet,
is
but
that the good
I
news?
learned that you cannot do a subject to, no title company will close a subject to on any kind of a governmental loan.
Oh,
And that only an attorney can close it. The only reason the title company agreed to close on my subject to deal was because it's a home equity loan.
oh,
So I thought that was interesting. So you definitely need an attorney to close.
that's really good news to know. I mean, it really is. It's one of those file in a, I mean, if you, if this is something you're going to be going after all the time, I would probably maybe come up with cheat sheet rules or something like that that I could let people know also, an easy handover package.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need an attorney that covers Prop 2s in the area, let me know.
Yeah, if you have one, Anna, I've got a couple of names, but the attorney that I found doesn't do the closings, and he had referred me to the title company. And when I went over to the title company yesterday, the escrow agent told me, she said, you're lucky I found someone that would underwrite this. And she gave me a whole lesson. And I went, oh, I had no idea.
Good to
And she
know.
said, yeah, they're just not touching them because of the subject to, the due upon sale clause. And
Oh,
they can't get them underwritten. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
the local area here, for their upgraded members, like have you heard of the big dogs?
A little, maybe. Which
Hang on,
RIA? Are you talking
hang
San Antonio RIA?
Yeah, the San Antonio RIA is run by Phil and Shanoa Grove. And they have like their own internal network of people that they refer to. I got like an inside preview of what their innermost investor group is like. And the guy
Oh,
they use is Alan Check. I'm always butchering his name. CESZKER.
It's
Like
because
a
there's
weird.
not enough vowels.
I know so many of them. I'm like, oh, yeah, just say Alan. He's actually out in Austin.
okay. Well, I definitely need to get that. I've been going to the Alamo RIA and not the San Antonio RIA. So yeah, that would be cool. I got another person I need to call back who's out of Austin. And then I got one from San Antonio RIA, but the guy never called me back. So
Interesting. Yeah, this one they use for only their top level investors. They don't even give the name out in the regular RIA. It's only for the big dogs. But yeah, he's a really good connection to have for any investor purchase in the local area. He does sub
well, if
twos
you
all
don't
the
mind, if you could shoot me an email or a text and give me his name, I would really like to get it.
Yeah, of course, no problem. I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Of course.
Cool. That's some good news. All right. Who else has got some good news? Yes, Bree.
So I taught a class yesterday for 40 first-time home buyers, and
Yeah.
none of them have agents.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Where did you get them?
So I've been teaching since 2019 first-time home buyers classes, and through THDA, and then also some of my own. And so someone from the Metropolitan Development Housing Authority connected me to this group for people on that get housing vouchers.
Yes.
And it's a year-long course. And so before I was teaching it towards the end when they already had realtors. So now I'm teaching it at the beginning when they don't have realtors. So to help them get off public assistance. And the success
Wow.
rate of these clients is amazing because they go through everything about what is responsible homeownership, how to keep the house, how to put money aside for repairs. So anyway, it's grown. So normally it's about 7 or 8. Now it was 40.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was really good. We ran out of time. They're gonna have me come back. They had lots of great questions. I set up a PowerPoint just for this class.
I was gonna
It
say,
looks
do you have a
pretty cute.
PowerPoint and a presentation? I'd love to see it.
Yeah. And I had it next time. I'm actually gonna do a video of me walking through the houses. So right now, what I did is I pre-selected certain zip codes and condos, townhomes, and single family homes, and had those the MLS ready, and then just
Yeah.
kind of on the Zoom, just walk them through the different, like a move-in ready home, and a home that needed a little loving, and a home that you would consider an investment property.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and then so my emphasis on the one that needed a little bit of loving was, don't sleep on it, especially if it's in your price range. You can make it your own.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't know how many,
um
because every home I've moved into, I've made my own. So why buy something that's really pretty? Because I'm going to change everything anyway. That's what I do,
yeah, and it was a learning, as agents, we know that.
Right.
And as a first-time home buyer, that especially since they've lived on public assistance for the majority of their life, it was eye-opening. And one of the program directors had a zero lot line house, so I explained to them what zero lot was compared to like a condo, and she made some excellent points to reaffirm why your home is also an investment. So it was nice. So that was last night.
That's really cool. And you just put me inside the mindset also of somebody who's been on assistance or rented basically their entire life. So I moved my daughter up into a place, and she hasn't been on assistance or rented, but her adult life she has.
Right.
I put her in that place up there, and she's done some painting on the inside. And she's like, "Are you okay with this color?" I'm like, "You can paint whatever color you want to. I could care less." And she's
Right.
like, but they don't understand that she doesn't, and she lived with me. I painted every house I lived in, So it was interesting what, 10 years of, just the only 10 years for her of living.
Yeah.
with
The mindset.
The mindset. Yeah. Yeah.
And this class is amazing on the mindset, the preparedness, what they expose them to, being responsible for the maintenance or not being responsible if it has an HOA. I went into that. So, and also went into the contract.
Right. Wow. Okay. How long is this? Like, you got them at the beginning. It's a year-long program, and they're not going to be ready to buy until sometime between now and hopefully in a year.
Right. So what I do is I'm also going to be at their graduation, and I hand out my contact information then as well. And I get to see them because it's been on Zoom. So I get to see them face to face. And so I've closed 3 deals in the past and it's not a quick process.
Nope.
But
Pipeline.
I have a track record.
It's a pipeline. Yeah.
It's a pipeline.
It's a pipeline. Oh, Bree, on our next coaching call, I really want to dive into that. I really want to work with you on if that's something that you want to work on. I would really love to work with you on building out that pipeline as robust as we can through KV Core and the free tools that we have, getting the database, dripping on them, coming up with the right kind of messages, pulling through KV Cores and tweaking some of those, and whatever we can get down and dirty, and just how we can get you in front of them as much as possible. Plus, if you've been doing it for 4 years, like,
yeah.
oh gosh.
And I may apply to be on the planning commission.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. So I'll get to know all the nitty gritty before it becomes public knowledge.
That's awesome. That's all the inside scoop. Yeah. If you get,
Oh crap, be right back.
that makes me want to like be with, like,
Careful, because sometimes you have to sign an agreement that you won't use it for personal gain. So
Yeah,
check
yeah,
the rules, because I had a friend that
Okay.
worked for the city, and you have to be careful on that.
okay. Yeah.
That's awesome though, Bree. Congratulations.
that's great.
I love that
Huge.
source
I
of
know.
pipeline.
my wheels are just like, ah.
I know. That's brilliant. I totally love it.
Yep, it's really, really good. I know I was dead silent. I should have said congratulations earlier too. I was just like,
I
soon
know.
I was like, ping, oh my gosh, and the wheels started going. So very cool. Very, very, very cool. All right. Has anyone else got anything good we want to share before we move into some challenges?
I decided to host my first time home buyer webinar. And I'm
Oh, nice.
taking a deep dive in. There is a guy that's over at EXP that I followed for a
Sorry.
while. Brad something, you probably heard of him. He does Vanderbilt, I think, Vander something. He does that's basically his entire source of pipeline. He just does first time home buyer webinars, and his motto is webinar only. So he just does webinars, and he teaches a course now. He charges $7,000 for this course for just webinars. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I feel like that's way overpriced. So
It is.
the lender contact that I had, she's like, we don't need that. She's like, let's just do it. Let's just create something together. So that's good, but I just don't know. I had a date picked out, but we might have to push it out. Nonetheless, I'm super excited. I hope that it works. If anyone has any tips, strategies, things that I should avoid or things that I should go for, please let me know.
That's cool. Maybe we should do a whole thing on, maybe we'll focus Friday on that. Like, everybody bring your A game on anybody who's ever done anything for first time home buyer stuff. And let's just all dump it into our Zoom on Friday. And you know what I mean, with the conversation, and then we'll have the recording of all kinds of tips and tricks. And I'll pull out my old stuff also to figure out what I've got in there, because I used to do them too. Obviously.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Cool beans. Very cool. I never did it at the high level that Bree's doing it. So, like, full disclosure, I did it, but not at that level ever. Wow, very cool. Very cool.
Anna, send us a copy of your recording when you do the webinar. Or invite us. I'd love to sit in or see it.
I would totally love that. I'd love to get you guys in. Yeah, for sure. I will let you know. I had a date picked out, but then I had a hearing that was scheduled and rescheduled. So now I want to make sure that it's done after that so I can have a clear mind. So I might have to rework the date, but I will definitely keep you guys posted. And by the way, this might be something we should discuss. I'm using ChatGPT
I
to
love
come with
GPT.
content.
I love chat.
So there's also Bard, which is
Yes,
the Google
that's Google.
one,
The
and the
Google
difference
version.
between so the difference between Bard and GPT is that ChatGPT goes up to like 2 years ago,
Uh-huh. And Bard is more current.
Bard goes according to what's now. They
That's
have
awesome.
different results, so you may want to put them in both to see which one you like better, because
For
the
sure.
tones are different. The tones are different from the answers in Bard versus Chat GPT.
I had to really work with chat. Okay, so Brianna asked me to do a letter for her college letter. I don't remember what it was, some kind of letter. Anyway, and I literally took the criteria that she gave me and I dumped it into Chat GPT. I didn't tell her this after I gave her the letter and said, do you like it? And I'm like, write a letter for me, and I was like, and I tweaked it a little bit because it was too copy and paste from what I wanted. But it took me, what would have taken me, half an hour, maybe an hour to sit down and write a really well thought out recommendation letter was 15 minutes, maybe tops, feeding it all in, spitting it out, and then tweaking it down for what I wanted. But then and it took me a while to get the tone right of what tone
Mhm.
I wanted for my marketing piece. And I finally put it in as somebody that was like, my marketing guy laughed his socks off because I was like flippantly cool, da 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 da, you know, something or another, real estate and
Oh,
this. And when I said write it in this tone, all of a sudden it came out in my words, and I'm like, hey, I'm flippantly cool. But it took me tweaking it back and forth, and that's part of the trick of it to get the voice right. Is, you know, write as if in this tone I want this thing. And the cool thing with content is you can put in a piece of content that's already written, and you can go, I need you to completely rewrite this, but in the tone of da da.
oh,
And then you can repurpose content crazy, like crazy. You can say, I want this content, but geared towards first-time home buyers, and I want it written as in the tone of the wise grandmother or the stern, you know, Grant Cardone. I want it like someone's going to yell at me, you know, or whatever, and it will totally bleh. And I love to hear what you're doing with it too, because it makes, if you want to do any kind of marketing, you can just spit stuff out.
Oh my God,
What
it's
is
a
it,
lot.
an app? Is it an
It-
app? What is it?
it's a website.
It's a website that's like an AI, it's like an AI personal assistant. Let's just think of it that way, because it does anything and everything you want it to do. In terms of content generation or like written. Now, it doesn't do design, but
Yet.
there are like derivative programs out there that have been designed to use the ChatGPT capabilities to come up with different things. Like there's a logo designer, there is a Microsoft creative thing that just got launched. It sucks so far, but there are so many different AI tools that are fully based on the ChatGPT model, brain, so to speak. It's amazing. Kay. You should definitely check it out. And Gina, I would love to do a class. I'm doing a mastermind right now, actually, finishes tomorrow, on the use of ChatGPT for business. It's general, it's generic, not specific to real estate, but I'm applying it for real estate. It finishes tomorrow, and I got their VIP so I can get all of the recordings and stuff like that. And we can put something together for the group if you want.
I would love that. I'm
Okay.
literally writing down first-time home buyer, ChatGPT. These are such awesome things. I really love it. And the interesting thing with ChatGPT is I was listening to a podcast of a guy that's really tested it out like crazy. Here's the thing that's really intriguing about this. So he's having it go look for really obscure texts and then do stuff on it. And ChatGPT would come along and analyze it in a way he didn't want. And he's like, no, I don't want that. And then it would apologize and then not do it again and continue. But then he would say, cite all your sources of where you got stuff. And 99%,
Oh.
yeah, and 99% of the stuff was cited correctly. But every once in a while, because he would go research out to make sure every single citation was a legit paper that was written on whatever obscure subject he was looking up. And every once in a while, it wasn't. It didn't exist. And that's an interesting thing. So I was like, well, ChatGPT, because your whole point is to answer questions. That's the algorithm behind it. Although nobody really knows how it's really they don't release how it's really operating. So nobody really kind of knows how it's operating. It's an excellent tool for reasoning, not just like Google's for knowledge. ChatGPT is more for reasoning. And obviously we've got garbage in, garbage out that can happen. So just like Google, I mean, you know, you've got people who you can Google anything in whatever form you want. And if you Google it in the exact opposite, you'll find just as many articles that say that's true too. So there's always a garbage in, garbage out. But the truly interesting thing with ChatGPT, and I lost my flipping train of thought. Well, when I figure it out again, I'll let you guys know because it was a good one. It's, I don't know, it's gone. It's a great tool though. If you haven't gone onto it, go onto it, just play with it a little bit and see how it works. And then once you start doing that, you can really start to get your brain wrapped around what this thing can really do.
One super cool thing that I did that I think would also help you is I asked ChatGPT to help me. Obviously, it's not like one question. You have to keep feeding it and keep interacting with it. So Kay, it's very interactive. It's not like you ask a question and answers that you can actually continue on a conversation like you can with a person. So what I did with ChatGPT yesterday was, hey, help me come up with a customer avatar. Who is my ideal clientele? And I just wanted to see what it comes up with.
Yes.
And it's like, and I'm like, what questions? Pretend you're the world's smartest, or pretend you're the world's most successful marketer, and tell me what questions you need me to answer in order for you to come up with my ideal clientele or client avatar.
Yep.
And
Wow.
it started asking questions, and I
Yep.
started answering the questions. And then at the end, I said, okay, write me the biography of my ideal clientele, of who's my ideal avatar. And he gave back Emily. And Emily was exactly the client that I would totally love to work with. And then I said, okay, thanks, ChatGPT. Can you come up with a content calendar that Emily would like to see? And
Oh,
so
shit.
it comes up with
Yeah.
a giant list of stuff that I can produce. And then I specify, okay, I want videos. Can you tell me what videos I can create for Emily that would be able to be attractive to her? And so it comes up with videos. And I said, okay, can you tell me a script that I can use for number one? And then it comes up with a script that I can use for number one. And then it says, and I say, okay, come up with like a 7-day plan or a 30-day plan. You can get really detailed with it. And it's literally like, it's like having a marketer in your back pocket. It's having a business consultant in your back pocket. It's having a mentor, a coach. I mean, you name it.
Everything.
And then you can say,
So
write
it
this.
continued on the same thread.
On the same
Yes,
thread.
on the same thing. And you
Yes.
can create a separate chat to sort of change the topic so you could go back to the other one without distorting the conversation. So you
Exactly.
can
How
have
do you-
multiple
Oh,
tabs.
wow.
Yes. So I said I would need 100 headlines for blah. And then I'm like, now write me 100 articles of so many words per article for all those headlines. Blah. And that I'm like, there's my fodder. And I need you to do it
Yeah.
like da, 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 with this, with this tone, this accent, this for this person. Blah. It
And
just,
then
yeah.
it's amazing. I mean, and then you could say like, okay, put it in Tony Robbins's voice, for
Yes,
example. And then
exactly.
it just, oh, it's so cool. It's
I
so,
did
so
Tony
cool.
Robbins. That's hilarious. Half of my website, if not more, that we're building out, which my website's starting to look, the Gina-Hansen team one is coming together. Like Ava's amazing.
Oh, you're awesome, Gina. That's so good.
Is ChatGPT. It really is. I took my bio and I'm like, I need you to take my bio for this. And bam. And I was like, oh, I like that. That works out really good, and it's just, it's very, very fast and very easy. It really is. And it's just fun to play with. So I do encourage you, Kay, get in there and just to start, just play. And then you really quickly, you'll get the hang of it. And then you'll have a ball with it because it really can shorten all your time of anything you're doing on any, I don't even know what the limits are. I know that there's a guy on the podcast I was listening to, he got ChatGPT to pretend, and it took him a while to get him to do it, but he kept on working with the prompt to get it to pretend it was somebody else interacting back with him. It's really amazing what this thing can do. It's really amazing. Gosh, I got to figure out what it was I wanted to say, but whatever. Okay. Any other cool stuff in there with anybody? All right. We're going to run then. It's my favorite conversation of the day. It's just so damn fun being with you guys. I can't even let you know. So thank you very much.
I was just introducing you guys to my mom, and I was like, this is the team that changed my life. I love them to death. And she like looked at the phone, like looking through all of you, but I mean it. I seriously mean it. I love you guys. And this is the best part of my day. And I hate mornings.
I wondered about you because at one point you texted me kind of late, early on when we first came on the team, you texted me kind of late, and I was like, oh, you're not a morning person. But yeah, now it's confirmed.
I'm naturally a night owl, so I would be up to like 1, 2, but now because I'm a mom and I have a lot of stuff, and I also know that I have to wake up early. So I'm up by 5 a.m. and I'm asleep by like sometimes midnight, 1, 2. So I have I'm running on very little sleep, which sucks, but
I hear
so
you.
I'm both. I'm both now. I'm an early riser and a night owl.
Welcome to our club. We have coffee. One last thing that I was thinking of that I'll leave you guys with. So, okay, I overdid yesterday, and then I worked 6.5 hours, and then I was like, I don't think I want to work anymore. Well, I thought I did, but it turns out I did not. And then I did like 2 5-minute naps, but I was cold, and I was exhausted and all that kind of stuff. And I had a rough night last night, and I had to take a pain pill, 2 half pain pills, because I couldn't knock the pain down. And part of it was my physical therapist came over and was working me out like crazy on the cane. So, and that was all new, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so physical pain, mental pain. But then I thought about this morning, and I was kind of processing through, because I feel great again today, because morning, and, took a pain pill, slept like a baby. So I'm like, whoa. But I was processing through, and I'm like, healing is just like a microscope on all life, because everything is magnified so greatly. So I'm like, you have an option. You can push really, really, really hard, knowing full well that when you hit that wall, it is going to hurt emotionally, mentally, and physically. Like, it's going to hurt if you push really, really, really hard, but you'll recover quickly. And the next day you'll feel amazing. Or I can float along in my life, which I've done sometimes in life, and I could float along with my healing, and I could not push, and I could just sort of generally sink. And I'm like, either way, you're going to go under the water for a period of time. You just are. Either way, you're going to go under the water. I think I would rather push really, really hard, go under the water for a little bit, deal with it, and then come back out feeling amazing, than slowly sinking to the bottom, because that's a lot harder swim to get back up to the top again. And so it really just kind of focused me in on this blessing of going through this journey, which is not my first time. You think I would have this down now, but clearly I don't. And the microscopic vision or version of how this relates into life and real estate. So thought I'd leave you guys with that. But thank you, Kay, you were right.
There's a song called I Am Your Mother, You Listen to Me. It's real cute. My granddaughter and I sing it. You should look it up.
I will look that up, and yes, because I need one of those on top of me saying, you're gonna overdo, and then I would probably go, I know, and then I would do it anyway. I am your mother, you should listen to me. All right, you guys, I am not your mother. You should listen to Kay. Have a really, really, really great rest of your day. Love you all. See you all mañana.
Thank you. Bye-bye.